Hello wrestling fans, and welcome to another edition of In This Corner, brought to you by Big Time Pro Wrestling in Huntington, West Virginia. I'm Christopher Angel, the Commissioner of Big Time Pro Wrestling, where we are live here on Memorial Day weekend at Castle Cornell.
Castle Cornell, you keep on.
Hey, this is where it all happens. And we have got so much that's going on this week with Big Time Pro Wrestling, so without further ado, we're just going to get right into it. Right here with me is the president, founder of Big Time Pro Wrestling, Mr. Freddie Cornell.
Hey Chris, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. Before we get started, I want to wish everybody happy, all the wrestling fans out there on our Facebook page, YouTube, and all that. Happy Memorial Day. Hope everybody is safe for this weekend and tomorrow. I know everybody be with family. Things are opening back up, you know, with this pandemic, and I know all of the families are going to get together, Chris, and I want to wish everybody, you know, a happy Memorial Day, especially all the active and military people, and also all the veterans and our warriors out there that fought for our country. This is what it's all about, really, Chris. I mean, Memorial Day is about, you know, our troops, and you know, and also getting with families, stuff like that. A lot of the people are maybe coming in out of town. That's in the navies and military and army and Marines and all that, being with their family. So I want to thank them for, you know, serving our country and stuff like that. So that's the first thing I want to do. So just be safe and be cautious still, and enjoy your time with your family and your loved ones. And we hope to see you actually this coming Friday night in Barboursville, West Virginia at the Newburgh Church. Before we get started, I wanted to reach out and big shout out to Mr. David Kitchen, the pastor of Newburgh Church on Mud River Road. You know, thank him for bringing Big Time Pro Wrestling back there, and it's always a good time in Barboursville, West Virginia, as you know, Chris. I mean, we had some incredible matches there. We was just at the Good Samaritan Church Community Center, and we had 2 nights of action-packed wrestling there. Some great matches. Yes. So we're moving on to next weekend, and
next Friday night.
And very excited. The Hall of Famer for Meet and Greet is going to be there. As you know, Sergeant Slaughter is going to be in the house. We're going to open the doors around 6 o'clock, and he'll be there signing autographs and meet and greet with all the fans. And we're just, it's an action-packed card for this, and we've got the lineup right there.
Well, we've called it a night of impact because we'll have definitely on the card Friday night will be several stars from Impact Wrestling will be with us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Big Time Pro Wrestling Zone, as you know, Larry D will be there from Impact, as you see on TV, one of the Triple XL tag team. You know,
Jake Christ.
Jake Christ is going to be there. Former Impact star there, and Suicide, Caleb with a K.
Caleb with a K.
Yeah, so I mean, we were talking about Larry. I mean, we got him against going one-on-one with the upcoming, making his debut in Big Time Pro Wrestling.
Barboursville.
Yeah, I mean, you did some study on him. I mean, boy, he sure is a brawler. I mean, I think that's going to be a good match.
That definitely will be a good match, and I can tell you one thing: anytime you're in the ring with the legendary, the best hand in the house, legendary Larry D, you're in for a real rude awakening. And but I think Brawler will actually give him a good match.
Yeah, I mean, you did some study on him. I mean, he's a big brute, man. I mean, he's got some good hits himself, and incredible wrestling. I mean, making his debut right in Big Time Pro Wrestling. So I'm actually very excited to see that match.
Well, definitely, no question about that. And kicking off the show that night will be a tag team match. The Inferno and American Rebel Chris Williamson will take on Kevin Tyler and Ghost Rider Kenny.
Yeah, that's our pre-show match. We do have a pre-show match, ladies and gentlemen, because as you know, I mean, it's going to be an impact card. I mean, top to bottom, we have several matches. We actually got about, you know, 10 solid matches going on, man. I mean, so we're going to start off with a pre-show. It'll kick off around 6:15 with that tag team match from in Huntington that took place. So who never knows about what's going to happen in that tag team match.
You definitely got something there. And also moving along down the card, we had Superior Tony Evans versus the Impact star Jake Christ.
Yeah.
That should be a very interesting match indeed.
We actually caught up with Jay Chris. You know, we shared his video, what he had to say about Superior Tony Evans. As you know, man, his title reign came to an end at Huntington a couple weeks ago. We got a new River City's champion crowned. The Millennial Dragon defeated his over 2-year streak. I mean, so I think Tony's going to be very angry, and he's still upset. And you know, and he is requesting a rematch with Chris Taylor. As you know, it's going to come very soon, probably.
And he's going to have to go through Jay Chris to get that match.
Yeah, and that's going to be a good match. I mean, Jay Chris, I mean, you know, an incredible wrestler. I mean, former Impact star, and traveled all over the world. So Jake is no stranger to big time pro wrestling. I mean, he's been in big time pro wrestling several times, and I'm really looking forward to that match. And I think Tony better come with his A game a lot. I mean, because he's going to have his hands full.
Because Jay Christ, as you well know, as with all the other Christ wrestlers, he's always in high emotional gear.
Yeah,
he's in that ring.
Absolutely. He's going to have to make the difference aside and put his, you know, thoughts on the Millennial Dragon to the backside for this match. And I hope he can do that.
Well,
if he gets sidetracked, it could be a big upset.
It could definitely well be that. Next on the card, we got Carmen Chaos versus Paige Jones for the championship.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be, them two have been at it back and forth for, you know, a couple months now. And hopefully, you know, that Carmen gets revenge on Paige and by her dirty tricks. And so, you know, we could see a big upset that night as well there. I mean, you know, she's coming out of her shell, Carmen is, and she's starting to be dirty herself.
Well, yeah, she knows she gets better every time. Every time we see her in that ring, she does get better each time.
Yeah,
because she's learning more and more as time goes on. Now, also on the card, Derek James versus, oh my God, nasty Nate.
Yeah, Nate Gnarly, OMG himself. Derek James actually making his debut in big time pro wrestling as well. You did a lot of research, and I have too. Incredible wrestler, and you know, so I mean, Nate Gnarly is going to same thing, man. I mean, that's going to be a great match.
10%,
but he better give 110%. And as you know, Nate Gnarly, you know, Kamikaze, you know, upsetted him. For the 1-2-3 in Huntington. So, I mean, hopefully he'll regain his confidence and come back.
Well, now, next, Freddie, running down the card, we got a matter of respect match, and I put this match together for a reason, just because against General Timo Cruz versus Showtime Chris Miles. And
oh man, what a match that was in Huntington. I mean, Timo had two unbelievable matches back to back in Huntington. I mean, Friday and Saturday. I mean,
and the first one went to a time limit draw, and then you know, the fans were so into the match they wanted more, and by gosh, if the fans paid money to see more, I'm going to give them more.
Yeah, and it was an upset, I think. I mean, he caught Chris off guard, I mean, for a quick roll up, 1-2-3, and actually Chris wanted this match, another match with Timo, and it's no time limit. I mean, and you know, it's going to be an incredible match. As you know, he defeated Ray Waddell, Timo did the night before, and then stepped right into it with Chris. And actually, Timo requested that match on that Friday. He wanted the Golden Boy, he said, and, and you know, making his way to the top. And so, that match is going to be unbelievable. And it was a standing ovation for Timo and Chris. I mean, so.
And you know, and I tell everybody this: if you go back and watch that match, you can see the utmost respect each competitor has for the other.
Yes.
In the way they wrestle. Yeah. And it's just a matter of who can be the better man mentally, you know.
Yes.
As well as physically.
And as you know, I mean, Chris requests. I mean, it's going to be a good match, and I think you know, may the best man win. You know what I'm saying?
May the best man win.
Part two, you know. So I mean, hopefully, you know, that it will. You know, who never knows how it's going to turn out.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's a match that the fans will be unbelievable.
And also on the card, you will see El Johnny Santos versus Suicide. That ought to be interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
That should be an interesting
you know,
match.
Johnny Santos, from New York, he's working his way up, man. He's, what can I say? I mean, undefeated so far. I mean, boom, boom, boom. I mean, El Johnny Santos ain't nobody to, take, lightly.
Right.
And, we're looking at a hot upcoming star that working his way to the River Cities division or the heavy, the big time championship,
Right.
I mean, so who never knows, but Suicide, unbelievable. Been all over the world on TV, I mean, Impact everywhere, you know what I'm saying? I'm in Mexico, everywhere.
Yeah, he's
and
definitely been.
that's going to be a really good match.
Well, I tell you something. This next match, Benny Blanco versus Kamikaze, the Bronx Bomb. Now, as you know, Freddie, Benny Blanco called me out on an interview. And
He's funny. He's hilarious.
he called me out on an interview, and he's going to learn that once you work with the commissioner, I am a fair and just man in everything that I do. So as long as you are in big time pro wrestling, I want to make your stay with us comfortable. And I'll do anything that I can to make sure that you get the top competition that we could possibly give you. And I offer that as me to you. But at any time that you want to call out me, the commissioner, you come to me personally and we'll settle it either outside or where else it might go. Take that to the bank.
Yeah. You said you might have a surprise for him.
I might have a surprise for him.
The next night, something like that.
Yeah.
With his reactions.
Yeah.
As you know, Michael L. Ray and his manager Benny, did Bryce Phipps wrong in that match. I mean, of course, Phipps got his revenge the next night at the Rumble on him, but it's mostly 2-on-1, something like that. So I mean, that won't happen again. I mean, but Benny, I think he's got a rude awakening that night. So on Friday night, this coming Friday.
So, I mean, there you go. I just don't know what to say with that. Moving on down the card next, The Difference, Jordan Whitaker and superstar Ray Waddell. They'll be in action against Outcast, Jake Torrance, and Kellen Craven.
Them two young guys got their hands full with Whitaker and Waddell. I mean, man, they're a tag team division now. Whitaker and Waddell is, and we're starting to open our tag team division up in big time pro wrestling. And as you know, we're going to work on bringing a tag team tournament soon. The brackets, we're putting tag teams together for that division and to bring them, bring the tag belts back to big time pro wrestling. And that's one tag team that wants them. And them two young guys has got their hands full with them too. And I know they got trained by the Legendary Academy, and I know they're really good talent, young guys. But I gotta say, I mean, they're gonna have their hands full.
Yes, they will, no question about that. Well, after that, all roads lead to the main event of the evening. And that will be for the BTW Championship, Stonewall versus the Jurassic Juggernaut, Vince Steele, and always in Vince's corner, Simply Irresistible Rufus.
Yeah, Vince is very upset as the contract was said. I mean, our last show in Huntington, Rufus disrespected the women in the back, very, very disrespectful. And so the next night, Karma Chaos and them got revenge on her. She, went after Rufus, and he lost fair and square. But the contract was, and he said, if I lose, I'll do anything, I'll leave whatever stipulation, whatever. But you put it in there, if he loses, he has to wear a dress, and he did, and he lost. But Vince is not happy about that whatsoever.
No, he is not.
And Rufus says he's not done with Carmen Chaos either, and she, she will be, violated some more, whatever his words was.
She'll have his number.
Yeah,
She'll have his
but
number.
I think Rufus has her number too, and I think he has something up his sleeve coming next weekend, but who never knows. But he said he was not done yet, and Vince said he wasn't either. So
Well, also
who
too.
knows?
Well, also too. On the other side of the coin, you never underestimate what Carmen Chaos has up her sleeve, because she just might have the ending of all endings.
Absolutely, but Vince is the BTW champion. Almost 7 foot tall, 500 pounds.
He's a super heavyweight that moves like a lightweight.
He's unbelievable, but man, he does have his hands full. I mean, as we gave him one heck of an opponent, and that's Stonewall. He's a beast himself. Every bit about 6'5", himself 6'6". I mean, solid. I mean, so battle with the Giants right there, man. And I really think that Vince is going to have his hands full with Stonewall. I really do, and I'm looking forward. We could possibly see a big upset that night. So I told Vince when I talked to him, don't take this guy lightly. I mean, because as you know, he demolished Benny Blanco last show. I mean, folded him like a accordion, and so he's no joke to the ring. He's wrestled up, making a name for himself everywhere Stonewall is, and due to the pain, I mean, he got in, man, he's built like a ton of bricks.
Yes,
so,
he is, definitely.
And I think that's going to be incredible. I mean, I really do.
Well, definitely no question about that. But Freddie, top to bottom, absolutely. But wrestling fans, the main thing is that all roads this week lead to the New Birth Church in Barboursville, West Virginia. Mud River Road. Is there a number? Or,
Mud River Road should be on there. So you got the address, complete address there, and then
I don't know the actual number.
New Birth Church, it's New Birth Church, ladies and gentlemen. It's right on the flyer. We'll be posted on this post right underneath there. It's you get off the Barboursville exit. Right there's Mud River Road. Take Mud River Road right out there. You can't miss it. You can see all the signs there. New Birth Church. Doors will open sharp at 6 p.m., ladies and gentlemen, because we do have that meet and greet with Sergeant Slaughter and with all the other wrestlers as well.
Get there early to get a good seat, because
the pre-show starts right at 6:15, 6:20 iffy, right between there. All tickets are $15. Kids 12 and under only $5. I mean, that's a good ticket price for an action-packed card. And ladies and gentlemen, I know it's a lot of stuff going on that weekend, but if you're a wrestling fan, it's only one place you need to be in West Virginia. And you can support all the wrestling. I encourage, support independent wrestling, all promotions. Man, if you're a wrestling fan in West Virginia and you're near Barboursville, West Virginia, this is where you need to be, because
absolutely,
I'm telling you what, this is going to be an incredible wrestling show, top to bottom, and I'm really looking forward. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Freddie Cornell. This is Christopher Angel, Big Time Pro Wrestling. Thank everybody for tuning in. Hope to see you at ringside.